Good afternoon, prospect students, parents, and viewers. Welcome to the second and the last live talk of today's virtual open house by the WKW School of Communication and Information. My name is Jung Yeon Bo, but people in the school call me Dr. Bo or Prof. Bo. I'm Associate Chair of Academic in the WKW School of Communication and Information. This year, the WKW School is going a hybrid open house again, meaning today you're viewing the virtual open house and get to have a chance to live chat with our current students. But 2 weeks from now, 25th of the February, you will see a physical open house. The first time since the COVID-19 to have this full-scale physical open house. So what you can do is that you can come down to NTU and the WKW School and see for yourself what are the facilities. And for example, this TV studio, we are broadcasting live from the WKW TV studio. You can see the facilities and equipment. But the best part is that you can get to talk to our current students and faculty members to have more information about what it's like to be WKW students. This is my favorite session, not because I'm on, but we have wonderful 4 students here who are very eager to share their experiences, both academic and social life in the WKW School. So shall we go through and introduce ourselves to the audience?
All right, thank you, Prof. Bo. Hi, I'm Gerald. I'm currently a Year 4 student and I'm specializing in strategic communication, and I was previously from Nanyang Polytechnic School of Film and Media Studies.
Hi, my name's Tanisha. I'm a Year 4 student. I'm specializing in journalism and I was from Raffles Junior College.
So hi, my name is Meg and I'm doing broadcast and cinema studies, and I was previously from St. Andrews Junior College.
Hi, I'm Jolie. I'm also a Year 4 student specializing in communication research. I was previously from Victoria Junior College.
All right, thanks all to be here. We're very excited to share our experiences with you. But before we start the conversation, this is a live session. So we are receiving your questions through Slido. So please type your questions. And toward the end of this talk, I will answer, and we will answer all those questions as long as we have enough time. But even when we cannot answer all the questions, don't worry. We will respond to your questions in Slido. So make sure that you will get the answers. But at the same time, use the live chat feature in the microsite to ask questions to our current students. We have our current students waiting behind the monitors, very also eager to answer all your questions. And to show you, I have a tablet here, so I'll pay attention to your questions through the tablet later on, right? So then I guess the first and the most obvious question would be about the decision, right? If you go back to 4 years ago, right? How did you make a decision? How did you know that WKW School would be the right fit for you? Can anyone start to share?
Yeah, I think I can share first. So for me, the reason why I chose WKW School of Communications and Information is because I think that communications is actually incredibly relevant in today's society, in today's digital age. I mean, we have social media, we have Instagram, TikTok, everyone's on it. So I think it was a no-brainer to come to this school, because here in the WKW School, as a communication school, we have so much opportunities, we have alumni networks, we have so much platforms for us to leverage on, and I think it's just a no-brainer to come here. Yeah.
All right.
Right. And for me, I did a diploma in mass communication. So a lot of my peers actually felt that there isn't a need to further their undergraduate studies in communications, but you know, I really enjoyed being in a creative environment, and I thought that the WKW School would be a school with the right curriculum that would lead me onto the direction in doing advertising and PR as a career.
Actually, for me, I come from a more practical perspective. I looked at the school's reputation and the ranking as Asia's #1 best communication school, and I thought I was very curious about the creative rigor and the learning curves, and I was really wanting to know what the school can teach me and everything. And also, I knew that it was a fun school with lively people. So, yeah.
I think for me it was the exchange opportunity. That was the pull factor. So I'd be able to study in Singapore but still have that sort of overseas exposure. And I think also WKW has amazing resources, and I'd be able to capitalize on that and the networks as well. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're all very happy and satisfied. But have you ever kind of regretted or wondered why I'm here, for example? I don't know. Have you?
I think for me, the regret would be that we didn't get to go for exchange.
Oh,
But that's
dear.
I guess that's just the major. I mean, that's something that couldn't be helped because that's a COVID thing.
Right, right. It was so unfortunate that during the COVID-19 pandemic period, I mean, we couldn't do any overseas activities. So you are kind of victims from that pandemic. So I'm sorry that, but hopefully the new incoming students won't experience that again, right? So we have very students with a very diverse backgrounds and different interests. So that leads me to wonder what kind of then specialization that students can explore in the WKW School. So can anyone explain about different tracks?
Yeah, okay, I can talk about that. So basically we have 4 different specializations. So the first one is broadcast media and cinema studies. So that's, you sort of learn about like film and TV production. So you can make like short films, documentaries. So for that you could become like a director, a producer, an editor. The next one is data science and media studies. So you sort of learn how to analyze and draw conclusions from like data and information. And the career options would be social media analysts, data scientists, stuff like that. So what I'm doing is journalism. So I love storytelling. I love meeting new people. So I'm interested in, for me, I'm interested in broadcast journalism. So that's also a path. But you can do photojournalism, you can do print journalism. There's lots of things you can do. And then the last one is strategic communication. So that's like advertising and public relations. So that one is some of the career options would be like copywriting, account managers, stuff like that. Public relations as well. Yeah. So those are like the 4 main specializations that we have.
All right.
Yeah, actually, you don't have to
Yeah.
choose a specialization
yeah,
in
yeah.
WKWs. Yeah, because basically all the mods are categorized into these specializations. But as a WKW student, you don't have to pick just one track. You could do all the tracks, something like I did, which I did tracks mods from journalism, I did mods from marketing side, and I did mods in the film side as well. Yeah.
Right, I guess that's the best part about our specializations. So we offer both the depth and the width, right? So if our students want to really specialize in, for example, journalism, yes, we have a range of courses that could equip our students with the necessary knowledge and skills. But at the same time, we have the breadth, right? Different areas, because today's world is very complex. So probably even the journalists need to know how to analyze the data and how to utilize the data to show the data journalism and so on. So if students want to do that, they can mix match different courses from different specializations, because we are indeed a very big school, right? So we offer this kind of flexibility in our curriculum. I guess that's the strength of the curriculum in the WKW School of Communication and Information, right? So speaking of academic curriculum, I guess we emphasize a lot on experiential learning and a very good blend between conceptual knowledge and hands-on skills. But of course, we have a number of courses that our students can take, and we may not be able to explain all these things in like 40 minutes or 1 hour. So, but we'll try to walk you through the 4 year of academic and social life in a short period as much as we can, right? So I guess the first year, the capstone would be the core courses. Our entire cohort, about 160, 170 students, are taking these core major courses together. So can you explain what they are and your experiences with the audience?
So back in year 1, we took modules such as basic media writing, foundation of information analytics, which is kind of like the statistics,
Yeah.
and that scared me a bit.
I didn't like that.
I didn't really like that,
But it was, I'm glad, I didn't like it, but I'm glad I did it. Because
Oh.
it pushed me, it was out of my comfort
yeah.
zone.
And I think it's very relevant to the media landscape today that we have a background in, at least a very foundational background in different aspects of the media. So I think data analytics is one of it for sure. Yep. So
Yeah. So I know some students have very specific interest in their mind already beginning year 1. So they want to really jump into that specialization. But we have the core courses arranged such as basic media writing, data analytics, public speaking, and media law. All these are foundational courses that help students to sample what it's like to see the different areas of communication. But at the same time, after these core courses, students can choose more advanced courses, upper level courses, to go deeper in their interest area, right? And then another question about these core courses and starting year one would be, okay, for example, I'm from JC, or I'm from Poly, or I'm from the IB background. How would that make difference in my year one or throughout the 4 years? Can you share that part?
Right. So for me, I actually have a poly background. And as I mentioned earlier, a common misconception that students with a communication background have is that there is no need to further their studies in communications again. But I felt that the introductory courses in our freshman year was a really good refresher to what we've learned before. And especially as a guy, because I've served 2 years of national service. And admittedly, I was a little rusty at the start because I kind of forgot a lot of the things that we've learned before. But that said, there are a lot of intermediate and advanced knowledge to gain through taking upper level modules in the Wikimri school. So a skill that I picked up was strategic content creation for traditional and new media, which I found really useful. And that said, as a poly student, we do have a slight advantage in terms of presentation skills and technical knowledge in Adobe and design. And it is, I found it really meaningful to be able to share these skills through group projects and assignments with my friends.
I think for me, right, coming from a JC, a very common cause for concern is that I'll be put at a disadvantage because I don't have the media background that maybe some polytechnic kids have. And I think, well, that's a valid cause for concern. I don't think it's a very important cause of concern as well. I think when you come to the Wikimri school, the intro modules that you do, the courses that you take, they are designed to level the playing field. You don't have to feel as if like, oh, I don't have the knowledge that many other people have. And I mean, at the end of the day, grades aren't everything, especially in uni, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You don't have to worry so much about your grades because it's not, that's not everything in uni anymore. So I think that's a very key takeaway for me, especially after 4 years here. No one really cared about how well I did in year one. Yeah.
Right, so we have very diverse backgrounds among our students. So was that kind of diversity really help you to do group projects and going through the different courses?
For sure, right? I mean, intro courses really actually helped me decide what I want to do and what I want to specialize in. And I think like we shouldn't shy away from things that are outside of our comfort zones, like data analytics or math and things that we never thought we would do, because it really pushes us to think about communication and what communication is in different forms, whether it's journalism, whether it's data, whether it's like film and broadcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, today's world is very complex again, and it's not like one person can do all the work, right? So if you go to any industry, it's very common that they require people to work in a group together, just contribute and chip in their expertise to have the group projects. So I guess that's very important to have very diverse background. And although, I mean, yes, Wikimri School is a world-class communication and information program, and taking courses would be challenging, but you are not left alone. We have also world-class faculty members who help students to learn things. So if you don't know how to do certain things, don't worry, we are here to educate you, so I guess that's fine. But speaking of diversity and complexity, another highlight of year one is the ICC, Interdisciplinary Core Courses by the university. NTU look at how the industry is developed nowadays and made a decision to have this compulsory elective courses for all students regardless of their disciplines, their majors, to get together to take courses together. Again, the purpose here is to expose our students to very diverse environment and situations where they can learn from each other and do have synergy effect to solve the real-life problems. So all these ICC courses are core courses and will be pre-assigned to all our year ones and year twos. So you don't have to worry about them, but they are to help you to see how you can work with the interdisciplinary team in the workforce later after you graduate, right? So that's very quick, but some of the highlights of year one, what you should expect. Year two, moving on, I guess the highlight is exchanges. Although I guess Tanisha mentioned that she couldn't go to overseas exchanges, but typically before COVID-19, more than 80% of our students have some kind of overseas experiences. It could be semester-long exchanges, but also could be a short-term overseas practicums. So could any of you share some of your experiences? I know they were limited because of the pandemic, but still you probably had some experiences, right?
Yeah, so unfortunately, due to COVID, our batch was unable to go on a semester-long exchange program. But prospective students like you will get the opportunity, and it will be really exciting for sure.
Yeah.
So, however, I think last year the borders started to reopen, and I was really lucky that I was able to do a summer exchange program at Ewha Women's University in South Korea. And it was definitely an insightful experience because personally I really love Korean pop culture, and it was a lot of fun getting a first-hand experience to see it myself in South Korea. And as a creative myself too, I got to see how different art and graphic design is interpreted in a different city. And also as a specialist in advertising and PR, it was also interesting to see how different marketing efforts and even celebrity endorsements are executed on the streets as compared to Singapore. And you know, on a more practical level, having to live overseas for a month, you really push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you learn to be able to take care of yourselves, and for sure learn how to budget your finances responsibly. Yeah.
Anyone else?
We all didn't get to go on exchange.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, it was short, but nevertheless a very invaluable experience to have. So thankfully, yes, borders are opening up again. We're moving back to the pre-COVID-19 situation. So in fact, in this semester, many of year 2 students are on exchanges, and the previous semester, we sent our students to overseas universities, and they just have come back. So as prospect students, you should benefit a lot from all our exchange programs, right? So that's good. And then, another thing about the exchanges and overseas experiences is our unique experiential learning courses known as overseas practicums. We have a range of courses where students can take and enjoy a short-term visit to foreign countries and do a lot of activities related to courses. I'm sure some of our students have experienced that. So can anyone share your experiences?
Yeah, so I didn't get to go for exchange, but Mac and I got to go for this thing called GOFA.
Okay.
So it stands for Going Overseas for Advanced Reporting. So it's a journalism mod. So we got to go to, last year in July, we got to go to Berlin. So it's supposed to stretch journalism students to get them to report on the most sort of current issue of the time. So if you remember last year, February 2022, that's when Russia invaded Ukraine. So Berlin had a huge influx of Ukrainian refugees. So we reported on Ukrainian refugees as well as migrants that were living in Berlin. So we had amazing stories that ranged from Ukrainian creatives that were staying in Berlin to third generation migrants who had set up restaurants. So it was a really, really exciting sort of opportunity. I think for me, one major learning point was that I was talking to some Ukrainian, I was doing a story on a Ukrainian ballerina, and she was talking about how her home was bombed, and it's very difficult not to, get attached and to put like your emotions into the story. But as a journalist, you need to learn to sort of like take a step back. But yeah, so Mac did documentaries for that too.
Yeah, so when I was on the team for GOFA, what I did was, as a member of a visuals team, I did documentary and I did a photo essay. And I think my biggest takeaway from the whole thing, because it's so difficult, I cannot begin how to describe how difficult it is to be sent to a foreign country in Berlin in a language you don't understand, to find people you don't know, to get a story you have no idea
He was stressed.
what it's about. Yeah,
I can see that.
I was so stressed on that whole 2 weeks. It was so terrible. But honestly, GOFA is a uni-defining experience for me.
Yeah.
I think a very, very big takeaway for me is that you are not going to get what you want exactly how you want it. And as a journalism student, as someone who wants to chase stories, make something, you got to take it for yourself. You got to really try and hustle and get what you want. So I think that's a very, very important thing for me, and it was very humbling in that way. Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, overseas experiences are really invaluable experiences, but some students decide not to take the opportunities, and that's totally fine. I mean, it's optional. It's not like everyone has to do that. And also, we offer other courses that students can experience similar international kind of atmosphere, and at the same time, they can have some hands-on experiences as well. Right, so I believe that Jolie, you did something similar like that.
Yeah, so I did Perspectives Film Festival, which is our school's practicum, where we have a group of students that plan and run and execute a 5-day to 7-day, film festival. And it's a longest running, first student-led film festival in Singapore. So it was amazing because you really get to go out into the industry, find people, build networks. I got to shake hands with filmmakers, directors, ask them questions, interview them. I got to talk to Ukrainian ambassadors because we filmed a Ukrainian film also about the Russian-Ukraine war. So it's all very salient, and it really ties you into the international global flows of people and discourse and diverse perspectives. Yeah, and it's awesome. It's one of the best courses I've ever taken. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Of course. Yes. We offer other overseas practicums, and these practicum courses that includes like Odyssey, that's more focusing on the documentary production, and also our strategic communication course, regional strategic communication course. This semester we'll visit Nepal to solve their problems and suggest some of the campaigns to tackle the issues that the people in the Nepal are facing. And also last year, a group of students and the instructor visited the Cannes International Creative Film Festival. So all these activities that we used to do, we are resuming, and hopefully we can go in a full scale soon. All right? All right, so then moving on to year 3, yes, already year 3. The capstone in year 3 is professional internship. I know many schools nowadays say that, oh, we offer the internship opportunities, and then I need you to take your time to study what kind of internship opportunities that they offer. They may say, oh yeah, during the summer break, you can just get your own internship and do it on your own, right? But our internship is different. Our internship is for entire semester. So in year 3, semester 2, our students go out to work in their choice of the company for the 22 weeks. So this is also embedded into our curriculum. So our students are working and getting the work experiences, but at the same time owning the academic units to take care of their academic side as well. So could you share your internship experiences, where you went and how it turned out to be?
Okay, so actually the WKW School has a strong alumni network, and one of the managers I worked with was actually an alumna from the WKW School. So I did an internship at TikTok where I did regional communications, and I worked with my manager to handle media relations and trend analysis in Singapore, Malaysia and the Philippines. And it was a unique experience for sure, as I was exposed not only to current affairs in Singapore but in our neighboring countries as well. And overall, I really think that internships are a great way to pick up not only technical skills, but also work on your interpersonal communication and learn to work more efficiently and effectively.
Did your supervisor treat you well?
Yes, of course.
Okay, glad to hear that. Okay.
Okay, I think for me, I was a production intern at Tron Pictures. It's a production house. So what I did was I shadowed my producers offset and onset. So on set, we just learned how to make a very good commercial video for clients and how to make a good video to make people happy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So for me, like Gerald, my supervisor was also from WKW School. So for me, I was a film programmer at Asian Film Archive, where I really learned how to, curate, research, write about films, and just think about film history in Singapore as a whole.
I was at Power 98 Radio. I wasn't a DJ. I feel like everyone thinks I'm a DJ, but I wasn't. I was doing the news. So I did like the morning and the afternoon bulletin news shifts, as well as I made like these they're called news capsules, but they're like mini podcasts. So about like current affairs, like current issues like the resurgence of air travel, inflation. When Zouk opened, I got to go to Zouk and experience that. So I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's good. So did your internship experience somehow change your perspective on the industry or the job, or whether was it really helpful? So what's your take?
I think for me, I thought that journalism was only going to, like for me, it was just going to be like print journalism, but now I've been exposed to broadcast journalism, which is like radio and TV. And now I know for sure that that is exactly what I want to do. And they even offered me a part-time and I'm still working there. So I feel like it definitely opened like doors for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right. Yes, so that's again part of our experiential learning curriculum in the WKW School of Communication and Information. We want our students to go out there and see what they learn in classroom actually can be applied in the daily activities and work environments, right? So these internship opportunities will really help students to see and picture themselves in the industry of their dream, whether they could really go to that industry or whether they want to switch to slightly different areas, right? That's why we schedule the internship in year 3. That's when our students have skills that they can apply in the work environment. But at the same time, it's not too late. Once students experience certain things, thankfully all these students liked what they did, but some students somehow felt like that's a bummer, right? I don't want to do this anymore, right? Then still the students have some time to switch to slightly different area in the remaining year of the school, and then still find the jobs that they want to have, right? So that's why we scheduled our internship in year 3. And the WKW School celebrated its 30th anniversary, 30th anniversary last year. It means that as these students shared, we have a good number of alumni in pretty much everywhere, right? So we have a very good network, we have legacy, and that really helps our graduates to, again, be very successful in the work environment and so on, right? Okay, then that kind of legacy also invite our industry partners to join the network of the WKW. So typically we have more than double times the number of companies that want our students to be interns than the number of students that we have. So our students usually have some of the options to choose from, right? Okay, so let's quickly wrap up the year 3 and move on to the year 4. I believe all of you are year 4 and busy with final year projects. So that's a capstone project that can really showcase what our students learn throughout the 4 year of their education in the WKW School. So yes, it's time for you to brag about your FYPs. So could you share what you have?
Okay, so for me, what I'm doing is I'm making a narrative short film with a team of 4. So that involves conceptualizing, scripting, location, everything from scratch. So if you want to find out more, you can follow Say No More Films on Instagram. Yes.
Say No More Films. Okay,
Yes.
good.
So for me, I'm taking on a solo research project. It's more qualitative than quantitative. Of course, research is very diverse. You can choose whatever methodology you like to approach for your research objective. For me, it's very interdisciplinary. It melds like film studies with policy studies and cultural studies. So again, you can take on this kind of things that you're interested in, whether it is interdisciplinary or whether it's just focused on communication studies.
I'm doing a feature article on matchmaking in Singapore. So there's a group of 4 of us working on that. But I won't talk too much about it. You'll read it when it's out.
So for students who choose to do a campaign for their FYP, they can choose to center it around a social issue and raise awareness or drive action towards a specific cause. So for my group, we are called the Turntable Tribe, and we aim to encourage homeowners to adopt sustainable habits when it comes to shopping for furniture, be it being more conscious about their carbon footprint, or to look out for more sustainable options such as pre-loved furniture, or even to upcycle their existing furniture. Do drop us a follow at the Turntable Tribe on Instagram and TikTok to see what we've been up to.
All right, yeah, thanks for sharing your FYPs. As you heard, these students have very diverse projects ranging from feature writing to the film production, campaigns, and research, right? Students can do all these because of the rich academic curriculum that the WKW School of Communication and Information actually offers, right? So I told you that we have both the depth and the width, so you can enjoy all these different very diverse courses when you join the WKW School of Communication and Information. All right, so now it's time for us to look at some of the questions that you type in the Slido and try to answer your questions. Hopefully I can see some of the questions here. All right, yes, good. So we have some questions, interesting ones. So thanks for asking these questions, right? So I guess the first interesting question, probably easy one that you can easily answer, is how the culture of WKW School is like. Whether everyone has to always just dress up nicely. So what do you say?
Yeah. Okay. I think
You can take it.
I can do it. Yes. The short answer is no. You don't have to be extroverted. You don't have to dress well to be in school.
Yeah, evidently.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm personally an introvert, so I'm doing okay, I guess. So yeah, that's that. But I think at the core of this question is like the worry that you can't fit in. It's a new environment, new people. So I think my message is just to have fun, push yourself out of your comfort zone, and try new things. Don't worry so much, and you definitely won't be disappointed in WKW. Yeah.
But on the but on the topic of dressing up, we actually have something called Team Week. So every semester we have a week where we release daily themes for students to dress up to and create content for social media, and they will stand to win attractive prizes. And in fact, I've actually won a monitor from Prism Plus 2 years ago, so that was fun. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, there is a stereotype of like the WKW School of Communication and Information students, right? So typical stereotype would be like extroverted, outgoing, and well dressed up, and those kind of things. But you're saying that there are some students who are like that, but there are some other types of students, and you all go well together?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Definitely.
Right. So I guess that's common sense, right? If everyone is outgoing and dressing up nicely all the time, that will be very tiring, right? So there needs to be somebody who listens to what the other party has to say, and that's what we call communication. And you'll see communication and interaction in the WKW School. All right. So moving on to the next question. Okay, here I have a question about CCAs. Are CCAs mandatory?
Right, so I think CCAs are not mandatory, and actually there are a lot of other activities that are ad hoc committees that are also very like student-led, like student initiatives. For example, Paparazzi, which I was involved in, is a theatre production. I was involved in sound, and there are people who do like directing, who write the play, who act in the play, and things like that. So no, CCA is not compulsory, but you do definitely get a range of experiences that you can try out. Yeah.
So I am actually part of the Students CI Club, which is a students committee here in the WKW School, and we make your student life more exciting through events and welfare initiatives. So like Team Week, which I've mentioned, and there's so much more that we do. But apart from that, there are also outlets for you to express your creativity and passion through something we call Weekend, where students can come together to form interest groups, be it fitness, dance, music, board games, and recently even online shopping and manicures. So there is really a place for everyone here in the WKW School. Are you guys in any of these weekend initiatives?
I'm in Frisbee.
Oh yeah, we have a Frisbee club, and they actually do organize an annual tournament, like just as an internal thing. I think that's quite fun.
Well, yeah, speaking of Theme Week, when I taught one of the core courses, I was surprised to see a military commando with the full camouflage sitting in my class, right? That was the Theme Week. Okay, so next question. Okay, so we have a question related to the academic work here. So what is a typical workload for a semester curriculum? Can anyone answer for that?
I guess, okay, I think that's the beauty of university is you're independent, so you're in charge of your timetable. I mean, besides, core classes, which are compulsory classes, you're sort of given like the flexibility of making your schedule. So there's different like sort of class types. So there's like lectures and tutorials, and then there's like seminars. So I guess it's up to you, like what for the electives, it's up to you what you want to do, and also whether you want to take courses that have exams. So like in our last year 4, I'm taking nothing that has an exam. I'm just taking stuff that has essays or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty I'd say it's pretty independent. Yeah, it's up to you.
Right. So yes, it's flexible, but also it means responsibility, right? So as university students, once you join the university, you need to learn how to manage your time and do well. But once again, you're not alone. We have a fully devoted academic team that helps you to schedule courses and also work with you to see your trajectory of the progression and what are the courses that you need to take in order to graduate and move on to the next year and so on. So we have a group of people, both your fellow students and seniors, our academic admin staff and faculty members, professors are here to help you so that you can really enjoy and be successful in the school. All right? Okay, next question. Right, I knew that you are interested in overseas experiences, so I have a question. What are the overseas experiences, opportunities? Yes, I guess our students share their experiences of the Go Far, and I mentioned the Cannes International Festival of Creativity. That's where our students go who are doing the public relations and advertising to learn how the industry is shaping and making changes. So they spend about a week there to learn and interact with the industry people. So that's a very interesting module. We have International Film Festival. We used to send our students to, for example, Busan International Film Festival via Training to Busan. So if you know the movie Train to Busan, right? So yeah, and also we have the Odyssey, which is again a documentary focused international practicum. So our students typically go to regional countries to pick up interesting stories, make documentaries based on them. And also we have the regional strategy communication. I mentioned that this semester, a group will go to Nepal to solve their issues during the campaigns and so on. So we have a number of courses available, and the best part of these overseas practicums is that most of the cost is subsidized by the school, right? So the WKW School is an endowed school. We have a lot of resources to support students' activities. So students don't need to worry about a very expensive flight or the hotel accommodations for these trips. So did you pay your flight and hotel for your Go Far?
So for Go Far, over the course of 2 weeks, I only spent 100 Sing dollars.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I did a bit of shopping, but
Okay.
that was my own money. So
And you didn't starve. You didn't sleep on the street, anything like
no,
that.
it was a really nice hotel actually.
Hotel with
We were very
breakfast.
well fed. We were well fed.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So we like to do in style. All right. Okay. Good. Move on. What else? Okay. Here is another question about the academic life here in the WKW School. Would a Polish student in a media course be disadvantaged in comparison to a JC student with a high score? Any thought?
Personally, no. I feel like, I think as mentioned earlier, the introductory modules that we have here really levels out the playing field. And as long as you put in the effort, manage your time well, I think you really have the same kind of like starting line together to do well for the next 4 years in the WKW School. Yeah.
Yes, I mean definitely in our curriculum, spending your time to study the course materials is very crucial, very important thing to do. But we don't really train our students to be book smart, right? So we want our students to have a very good balanced conceptual knowledge and hands-on skills. So regardless of your background or your own personal interest, you will see how you can contribute to various different course projects and so on. And you will see very different ways that you can excel in many different areas. So you don't have to worry about, for example, if you're not good at math, maybe you need to spend a bit more time. You may struggle a little bit in those data analytics courses, but even in those courses, there would be other opportunities that you can contribute from your other expertise. So don't worry too much about it. And we have another question about the second majors. Yes, we have the two different second majors that we offer in the WKW School of Communication and Information. One is the Communication Studies with the second major in Business, and the other is a Communication Studies and second major in Governance and International Relations. And I have to tell this to all students: second major, double major, or minor are not any better than or superior to single major. Single major in communication studies is good enough. It will give you a very rich experiences, then you should be just fine. But these second majors or minors provide different opportunities. They are different, right? Not better, but different. For those people who seek for very niche positioning, for example, we started to offer the second major in governance and international relations about a year ago, because we found that some of our students doing the journalism may want to find the position in international posts. Then knowing these politics and international relations would help them to do well in their new job. So those kind of niche positions, yes, can definitely benefit from these second majors, but they are not any better or superior to. All right? Good, move on. Okay, here is another interesting question. So what is the best mode course in the WKW School in your opinion? So from your courses that you have taken so far or taking now, what is the best in your opinion?
I think best is a very hard question, but I would say a very memorable module I took was one called Media Planning and Strategies. So we actually had a real life client, Pizza Hut, who came in to view our final presentation, and we were very lucky that they selected our group to execute our pitch in real life. So during the summer, about 2 years ago, we actually put together a content series on TikTok where we utilize storytelling and content creation to create a series of like a short film but split across multiple episodes, and then we uploaded it on TikTok, and Tanisha here actually helped to act in one of it, and we actually did so well that we got over 4 or 5 million views on TikTok itself, which was quite and it was organic. We didn't pay for ads or anything, and the client was really satisfied. So that was very memorable to me. Yeah.
Did you get some coupons from Pizza Hut?
We got free meal.
Free pizza.
Free pizza. So that's great.
At least
yeah.
some
That
free
was
pizzas.
nice.
Okay.
Worth
good.
it.
Paid in pizza.
Yeah. For me, I took an upper level mod called Health and Science Journalism, and
okay.
I had a lot of fun because I never really liked sciences in O levels and like A levels, but this like just put a different perspective on it basically taught us how to write science stories in a very like readable way for like the normal kind of reader. So I had and we got to go to like museums and stuff like that. So I thought that was really fun. Yeah, that was like my favorite mod.
Okay, I think for me, the mod that I enjoyed the most was Advanced Photojournalism. So it's a module that isn't really about taking photos, but exploring more about what's the future for photos in the real world. How do you earn money with photos? What's the future? So I think when I was year 3, I did this mod. That was last year. And we were already discussing about AI and whether that's photography. And look at today, we're in the world right now. So that is really a relevant mod for me. Yeah.
Yeah, also. So outside of practicum, my favorite module would be Women in Film and TV. underrepresented like certain women are in film and television, but you also see how they become like empowered through, you know, broadcast, through cinema studies, whether they are film scholars or whether they are filmmakers themselves. And yeah, you really feel the solidarity in the class. And also shout out to the professor who's teaching it, which is Miss Nikki Draper, who really makes the class really interesting. And like I said, I think a lot of professors in WKIM make the mods like really different for you. They talk to you, they really care, and they're really invested about, you know, you as a person. So yeah, it's nice.
All right. Yeah, as you heard, we have a range of courses from very conceptual, thought-provoking courses like for the minorities and so on, and also very practical courses where you have to have your hands dirty to do the actual field work and so on. So there will be an unlimited number of courses available for you to enjoy if you are to join. All right, so one last thing that I want to mention, I guess, is about the question about the holistic admissions, right? I heard that WKIM is doing holistic admissions now. Is it true that there will be no direct offers and everyone had to go through an interview? Well, yes, it's true. So we have been doing the 100% aptitude-based holistic admissions. It means that yes, we still look at the academic performance. As I said, yes, WKIM School is a world-class communication and information program, and our students need to perform in one way or another. But again, the academic performance itself is not everything that we are expecting from our students. And also at the same time, as much as we want to have really good students join the WKIM School, but we want our students to be happy and are satisfied with our program. So these interviews are to see whether the students really want to join the school, whether they can find something that they're looking for in the school and so on. So it's kind of matchmaking in a sense to see whether we can find the best fit for you and also for us. So this is a good addition to your academic performance and your portfolio that you may have. So don't worry too much about it, just be yourself and then you'll have the good result, all right? I guess it's about time for us to end our session today. I'm sorry that I couldn't answer all the questions that we have here, but again, our team will try to answer all these questions. At the same time, yes, try to continue to ask questions through the Slido and also through the live chat so that our current students can answer your questions, especially the live chat in real time. Our students can answer your questions, all right? Okay, then one more housekeeping issue. Our physical open house is scheduled 2 weeks from now, the 25th of February. So please mark your calendar, come down, see for yourself. You get to see me or other faculty members and all our current students, and you can mingle together and ask questions and you'll have a good time. So don't miss that, all right? Then I guess that's it for our session today. Thank you for watching this live talk show. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.